More Elks baseball from beautiful Genna Stadium coming up on this gorgeous Wednesday night in Central Oregon. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. I'm Aiden O'Neill, and if you're wondering, still not over last night. What an incredible game that was. The Elks in the 8th inning were down by a score of 4-2, and Cam Beck, with 2 outs in a full count, simply had other plans. Driving a ball to deep right center field, a ball that had backspin off the crack of that bat and soared over the banner in right center, never coming back. And you think about moments in a season, ones that define a year, even in a year where the Elks are just 17-29. Beck had one that was unforgettable, and one that the Oregon State Beaver will never forget in his career. But the one thing the Elks have struggled with this year is consistency. You have a great win one night, but can you come out the next night and perform? The last time they won back-to-back games, July 1st and July 2nd, at the beginning of this month against the Walla Walla Sweets. That tells you where this season has gone and where the struggles have been. But they send Trevor Kaiser to the mound tonight, an Oregon State Beaver in his own right, and his whole idea is to hope to continue to compete and give the Elks a chance to win. He has been a gritty starter all year for the Elks. Although it hasn't been the most pleasant of start each night out, he gives the innings. He competes down to the wire. And against a fierce Portland Pickles team in another bout of rivalry baseball, you need that sort of mentality. An opportunity today for the Elks to take the season series and win the series here at home at Genna Stadium. Asa Chilcutt, just as he did yesterday, starting off the ball game from the right side, and the first pitch is fired, missing outside. We get started at 6:36. Just 1 minute behind schedule. Pregame, all of the host families honored here at Genna. Those that keep this season moving round. Kaiser yanks that down and away and misses. Pickles tonight in their green tops, gray bottoms. It's an interesting green. It's more of an emerald style color, not the type of green you'd see on an actual pickle. But they're cool. And the Elks, despite promising, and this was the chatter, we're never going to wear the white tops and the black bottoms again after Sunday against Ridgefield, where they had a historic loss. They're back in them tonight, so there's confidence that today's going to be different. Trevor Kaiser, a 6.46 ERA with 22 Ks, a 2.07 whip. The last time he threw was in relief on July the 26th. Was a bridge guy in the bullpen game against the Raptors. But here he loses Asa Chilcutt to start this ball game with the base on balls. Rest of this Pickles lineup will read as follows. Cody Nidowitz, the switch hitter, stepping up. Then Kai Malt, M.D. Connor, Elijah McNeil, Grafton Stroop, Luis Castillo, Tyson McWarty, and Brody McKay. Fastball misses down and in. Brady, correction. My A's look like O's, I guess, when I'm writing it in my scorebook. The same starting 6 at the top of this order in the exact same order. Snidowitz chops one softly past Whitcomb at first to the second baseman in Hartlob, but his throw to first just gets him. This was an awkward one because it was a step and throw extremely quickly. Once it got by Whitcomb, you were wondering who's going to cover in time. He just got him. Felt like he was going to beat that with ease, but he ultimately did not. Runner moves up to second for Kai Malt. Takes down and away on a slider. That 5-4 game, Pickles lost by 1 run. And they're kicking themselves thinking about what that game could have been, because although they scored 4 runs, they only lost by 1. They out-hit the Elks by 3, and they left 15 runners on base. Mold chops that down the line. Foul past Pettit. Mold, one of the best hitters in the entire West Coast League, coming from UC Davis, the Santa Barbara, California native. Last night was held down. Did not pick up a hit, went 0 for 4 with a walk, but still entering Wednesday night. The league leader in batting average. Malt takes a strike, 1-2. Malt at 372. There's a couple guys in contention, but he's currently in the clear by 0.09 percentage points. Ethan Reynolds with Nanaimo, who's been arguably the best all-around hitter in the West Coast League, with the 363 average in second. Hook in sight on that one. You give Malt a chance here with a runner in scoring position early, you got to be careful. Open base at first, of course. Malt has 28 runs batted in. Second on the team in that category. Number 1 is MD Connor waiting on deck. Full count. You remember back on July the 13th, Trevor Kaiser did start against the Portland Pickles. That was during that day of the doubleheader. Elks ultimately lost that game 5-1. Payoff to Mold, got him. And he just threw a fastball middle. Challenge Mold, said go hit it. And he came up empty. TK's first punch out. Defense tonight for the Bend Elks. Looking to take this season series a prime opportunity tonight. Murphy, Pupo, and Gertie in the outfield from left to right. Pettit and Hattenhauer on the left side. Hartlob and Whitcomb on the right side. And Hayden Smith doing the catching. Connor rips one down the right field line, and it's down for a hit, going all the way by Gurney. Coming in to score is Chilcutt. An RBI double from MD Connor. Gets the scoring started just like he did last night. He has been a dominant bat for this group. And he got a fastball, middle in. Able to keep it fair. You remember in the first inning yesterday, 2-run home run to the same part of the yard. So back-to-back extra base hits in the first inning to right field to start the game. Turning it to Elijah McNeil. McNeil, a homer, 17 driven in, a 711 OPS. His defense, though, shined brightly last night, too. 1 for 4 with a walk. Also picked up a hard hit double. Chops it off his foot. Nothing in 2. See all the intangibles, though, when it comes to Elijah McNeil. If he continues to put it together as he grows into his body, that sort of size at the shortstop position does not come around very often. 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Kaiser gives up a base hit down the left field line that stays fair. Getting the wave around third is Connor. McNeil coasts into second. It's an RBI double. And for the second consecutive night, the Pickles have taken a 2-0 lead. Kaiser just left this breaking ball middle. And McNeil roped it by Brady Pettit. If you get it by him, it's likely impossible. Make that 2 consecutive RBI doubles. Switching spots. Now Grafton Stroop. Taken tight. Elks last night used 4 pitchers in total. They do have a lot of their bullpen fresh. The man of the hour on the mound last night was Hudson Chula, who picked up the win, 2 innings in relief. Kaiser right now just struggling to find true command. Stroop last night, 2 hits and 5 at-bats, also reached on a walk. Pickles didn't shy away from getting men on base, as I just said a bit ago. It was just the lack of cashing in when those opportunities were presented. "17 knocked in for Stroop. 2-1 with 2 outs. Foul it away off the net. Another night tonight of an outstanding crowd. Ben last night at Genna Stadium saw 2,212. And tonight, 1,500 pre-sale tickets again. And I would guess when that official attendance comes in, it'll be right around 2,000 once more. Getting the memo of the final homestand of the year and showing out in big droves. Group working a nice at-bat, fouling away the full count pitch. Entire inning started with a walk to Masa Chilcutt. And then the 2 big hits, M.D. Connor, an RBI double, and same with Elijah McNeil. Kaiser walked him. Less than ideal start from the tall righty. Oregon State Beaver out of West Richland, Washington. He's at 24 pitches already. Here comes Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo is danger with runners on base. My goodness, he hit that foul, but you could just see the shades of what the power is with that lone swing. 6 homers, 21 driven in, leads the team in homers. And he hit one when the Elks and Pickles played at Walker Stadium that I don't believe has landed yet. Big secondary off of second is McNeil, and Kaiser is forced to step off. McNeil on second, Stroop on first. 2-0 Pickles, top 1. Luis Castillo sharing the name with Luis Castillo, the Mariners pitcher that they traded for from the Reds. That starting rotation as good as it gets in Major League Baseball. But this Luis Castillo, his skill is much different. Hit the ball far and a long way. Castillo also represents tonight's K-Man. And you can hear this crowd cheering for cheap beer, knocking on the door of it. Ground ball to Pettit at third. It goes by him. McNeil's going to score. 3-0. It was a tough play for Brady Pettit on the backhand, and it was hit hard. Forcing Wes Harper to go and have a chat with Trevor Kaiser. Although that bullpen is fresh, you want Trevor to give you some innings for sure. That's the 3rd hit he's given up this frame. Tyson McGroarty Kaiser's heater. This is low. McGroarty, that's a tough last name to say. I'll get used to it as the night goes on. A lot of these Pickles, they got some of the most unique jersey numbers you'll see. You don't every day see a 90. Takes on the outer third for a strike. McGroarty, just 7 plate appearances. $143 average, so I'd assume those came in the non-league with our stats not showing it. One of the new Portland Pickles. Fouls it away. From Lynn Benton Community College. It's always a spot where a lot of West Coast League players reside during the regular season. Fouls that away. They are really making Trevor Kaiser work here. He is over 30 pitches in this first inning. And there's nobody warming up in the Elks bullpen, but TK laboring. 1-2 with 2 outs and 2 runners on. This is away. McGroarty and then Brady McKay after him. Rounding out this starting 9, the Pickles have really come and started to cash in. The opposite of last night with runners on base. Full count. Action pitch coming up. Full count, 2 outs. Both of the runners will be on the move. This will be pitch number 35 from Kaiser. It's softly to the shortstop in Hattenhauer, and he boots it. That'll bring in Grafton Stroop, Castillo to third. 4-0 Pickles. Tough play from Hattenhauer. Maybe just had side spin, but I think he looked up and it just went through the 5-hole. Young shortstop. This is the 9-hole batter, Brady McKay. And man, thinking about the momentum you built after last night, this is less than ideal. Elks have come out so far and simply gotten punched in the mouth. If you are going to give up a crooked number, though, you hope it's in one of the first couple of innings because it gives you the time to come all the way back. This is the 9th batter of the frame. McKay, who has 8 driven in, an average at 284. That's called a strike, 1-2. Kaiser strikes him out. But 9 come to the plate for the Portland Pickles, and they plate 4. Portland on top early here at Genna. Bottom of the first inning coming up. Elks looking to come back now. They're down 4-0 after that top half. And the Pickles, they hit their way to that success. It started with the leadoff walk to Masa Chilcutt, and then built off of that with some timely offense. Left 15 runners on base yesterday. And immediately with as many runs as they scored in that entire game. Win Gurney gets things going for the Elks against Ryan Higgins and singles into left. 106 off the bat of Win Gurney. When he makes contact, it is destroyed. Elks get some speed on first. Now Jackson Murphy. Facing the lefty, the southpaw, Ryan Higgins. 6 feet tall from UC Riverside. Filthy two-seam action on that 84-mile-per-hour pitch called a strike. Murphy, then Cahill, Pettit, Whitcomb, Hattenhauer, Smith, Hartlob, and Pupo. Murphy gets hit. And one that didn't feel good at all, but the Elks have back-to-back base runners. Not sure where that caught Murphy. It ran up and in, and ouch. I think it got him on the wrist. Here's Will Cahill. Good thing about bunting here with 2 runners on. And all the speed he's got. Does not, and takes a strike. Cahill's been nursing a leg injury over the past couple of weeks. But back in the lineup tonight. He started on Sunday of the Ridgefield series, went 0 for 4. Rounds that one sharply to Connor at first. He goes to second for 1. The throw back to first. A double play. And to do that against the speedy Cahill, impressive getting the runner off the bases. 2 outs, and the defense from the Portland Pickles. Chilcutt, Malton, Nidowitz in the outfield. Stroop and McNeil on the left side. McKay and Connor on the right side. McGuarty doing the catching. That double play goes down as a 3-6-3. Brady Pettit steps up. This will be the final homestand for a lot of these Bend Elks. And then they take on the Springfield Drifters at the start of next week to wrap up the regular season. Each day it's a new look squad. Pettit now down 0-2. Harry Schofield calling balls and strikes. Derek Dunbar on the bases. Same crew as last night, just flip-flopped. And Pettit strikes out looking. First K from Ryan Higgins, the looking variety to Brady Pettit. It's the Pickles by 4 on Bend Elks YouTube. Pickles on top by a score of 4-0 back here at Genna. Aiden O'Neill in the broadcast booth. Portland equaling their total amount of runs from last night in just that first inning. And they got things going after the walk when the entire offense began clicking. But the first big hit was M.D. Connor down the right field line. He brought in Masa Chilcutt, who was standing out there on second. And after him, Elijah McNeil down the line past the glove of Brady Pettit. That brought in Connor. They switched spots out there at 2. As the first pitch to Chilcutt is blooped on one hop over Hartlob's glove at second for a leadoff single. Ultimately, Luis Castillo later in the inning had an RBI single, and then Tyson McGroarty reached on an error, but it brought in a run. That was a tough play from Hartlob, who came in on it, and it bounced over the glove. One away for Cody Nidowitz. Foul tipped into the catcher's glove. There's been a big emphasis this year, and also when Alan Cox is looking to build up this Bend Elks program, of getting more local players embraced by this community in the starting lineup. And tonight's starting lineup for the Elks perfectly encapsulates exactly that. Aside from Brady Pettit at third base, Ty Hattenhauer, Camden Hartlob, and Brody Whitcomb all went to Caldera High School. Flashes of that same team that played together at a lower level, now on the same field here in Bend. And you rarely see that during summer ball, but Allen, with his experience with the Okotoks Dogs in Canada, that's the vision for these Elks as the organization continues to grow and move forward. Nedowitz's first time grounded out to Camden Hartlob. Still carrying an 822 OPS out of the University of Portland. Runner goes. Late jump from Chilcutt. The throw down to second. Got him. Hayden Smith. Masa Chilcutt caught stealing for his 6th time this year. He's 14 of 20. And the throw was a bit off, but nice tag from Ty Hattenhauer applying it. After a year where Trevor Kaiser only threw 1 inning at Oregon State, able now to get his consistent innings here in Bend. They're going to let him work through this early struggle. This is out there at 86. 45 pitches in just the first inning and a third. They're playing Nidowitz, the lefty, straight up. Switch hitter from that side this time around. Pops it up. Foul territory, room for Pettit near the dugout, and he makes the catch. Looking back to this pickoff play, Hattenhauer squeezed it. Chilcutt might have got his hand in there where that tag was applied. It was near the chest of Chilcutt, and his hand might have snuck in. Two away, and it's Kaimal. Take down and away. But a clean inning for Kaiser to throw significantly less pitches could be everything to just get the confidence back for him. Second year in the West Coast League for TK. Was with the Yakima Valley Pippins last year and pitched a couple of games here at Vince Genna Stadium. So full circle, being able to be back here now in that home white. Maltz got himself a hit. For the league leader in batting average, his first hit of the series. 91 off the bat into left field. And that's another pitch where Trevor Kaiser's just missing middle. allowing for these Pickles batters and their eyes to light up. Have to face Connor with a runner on, and that's swatted to center, but Pupo's got a beat on it. Making the catch to end the inning. Couple of singles, but no runs scored from the Pickles. I'm not either. When you showed me that, he looked safe to me. The stolen base. Yeah, you don't have to go booth, but I can just talk about it. Do it. Yeah. All right, back here for the bottom of the second. Looking back to that caught stealing. We watched it again during the break. And I really don't know if they got Chilcutt at any point there. That left hand looked like it might have caught second base before the tag was applied by Ty Hattenhauer. But the Elks will take it because that changed how the inning ended up going. Brody Whitcomb will get things going for these Elks. Whitcomb, Hattenhauer, and Smith against the lefty in Higgins. This is outside. Higgins has been good this year. His first start prior to this, 6 appearances out of the bullpen. The one thing he's going to do is fill up the strike zone. The Elks got to be ready. Whitcomb taps it back to Higgins, coming off the mound awkwardly, though, and a good throw to first. MD Connor with the stretch on the back end. Get in the leadoff man. When you're falling off the mound on the third base side to then run to the first base side and catch it on the opposite hand, spin and throw, Higgins made it look easier than it was in reality for sure. Hattenhauer will take a strike. Whitcomb, Hattenhauer, Hartlaub batting within 4 batters of one another in this Elks lineup. They were probably a part of the top of the order with Caldera High School, but a bit of an adjustment now playing with these college kids. Still has been a breath of fresh air to see the local kids fully embraced. Ty takes down and away. Ty's been in the starting lineup consistently now with all the departures. Made the road trip to Corvallis and Ridgefield, and then last night went 1 for 3. Works himself into a hitter's count, 3-1. It's always jumped out to us his level of comfort when it comes to at his age in the box. His at-bats in control constantly. Swings through a tough two-seamer outside. And whatever journey he has next, the next step on this path, that coach is going to be lucky to get. Such a seasoned hitter. Rounds one softly up the first baseline, foul. Higgins is not overpowering these Elks with velocity at all, but the Elks have struggled sometimes with soft throwers in the mid-80s. The thing about Higgins is, although he might not be blowing those fastballs by you, he's going to spot on the corner and has prime command to put pressure on the Elks offense. Just like that, Pattenhauer strikes out. The second K from Higgins. Two away for Hayden Smith. I mean, even yesterday in a game where the Elks won 5-4, the offense was not clicking from the beginning. Slowly got into the game. Pettit scored on a wild pitch. Jace Miller had an RBI single. And then the big swing of the bat came late. Cam Beck on that 3-run shot. Speaking on a room that's thinned out, the catcher position, exactly that. Hayden Smith in the thick of it. Rounds one to Stroop at third. The throw to first wasn't handled by Connor, but he picked it up off the turf before Smith got there. Ultimately end the inning. Elks go down in order as we go to the third. And I think Derek Dunbar got this right. Connor picked it up before Smith was there. To the third we go on Bend Elks YouTube. Top of the third inning, Elijah McNeil coming up for the Pickles. This 4-0 lead from Portland. Offer at the first pitch and swing through it. With Kaiser settling in last inning, that pitch count doesn't look as ridiculous now. McNeil, Stroop, then Castillo. McNeil will tap it foul up the third baseline. Had an RBI double in the first inning, was one of two extra base hits that got the Pickles offense going. Elijah McNeil, an all-star. Take down and away. Great event Victoria Harbor Cats hosted this year. That was right after the Elks' trip to Vancouver Island, British Columbia. And I enjoyed every bit of it. We also got a really tight all-star game that came down to the final batter where the South just hold on. And they did so under manager Jim Hopple. McNeil strikes out. That's Trevor Kaiser's third K. Coming on that breaking ball. That's the crazy thing about pitching and Trevor Kaiser doing what he does. Even if there's an out in, or rather an inning that is difficult from TK, He consistently bounces back, gets right back in that strike zone, isn't gun shy at all. Great quality from a young pitcher. One away, and it's Grafton Stroop, who grounds one to hard lob at second. 2 away. Sunday hop to the second baseman Hartlob. He was at shortstop yesterday, got the start over there. Hattenhauer was at second. So they flip this evening. Looking at that air quality there, was concerned pregame with the fires in the distance and the wind blowing in, but I was completely wrong. It's beautiful, 82 degrees, some intermittent clouds, and just some gusts up to 18 miles per hour, but a gorgeous night for baseball. The big Luis Castillo takes down and away on the ball. And an RBI single sharply hit to the backhand of Brady Pettit. Take a strike at the top of the zone. Castillo is truly a mountain of a man. His baseball reference has him listed at 6'4", 270 pounds. No wonder if a pitch misses in the heart of the plate, it's not coming back. And an athletic swinger from the right side gets plunked there. We had 6 of those combined last night. And already tonight, 2 hit by pitches. There's been magnets on the jerseys of the Pickles and the Elks. A lot of flesh, though, from Castillo. He just wore it on that forearm. Different story if you or me get hit there versus Castillo. Away for Tyson McGuarty. Take down and away on a fastball. Game 2 of this series. The Elks currently lead the season series 3-1. McGuarty had a soft hit chopper to Ty Hattenhauer his first time, and it went through the 5-hole going into shallow left. Brought in the 4th run of that inning. Since then, Trevor Kaiser's been better and hoping to keep this deficit right where it's at in the 3rd inning. 2-0, 2 away, Castillo on first in this 4-0 game. Line that one into shallow center. It gets down for a base hit. Castillo will be forced to stay at second. But McGuarty keeps this inning alive. Brady McKay, the 9-hole hitter, will get to hit with a couple of runners on base. Chance for the Pickles to add on to their already pretty sizable lead. Rounds that one down the 3rd baseline. It's by the glove of Pettit. Castillo's going to score. To 3rd is McGuarty. The throw goes to the cutoff man. It's an RBI double from Brady McKay. 5-0 Pickles. Trevor Kaiser had 2 quick outs to start this inning on a strikeout and a ground out, but then the 2-out hit by pitch to Castillo opened the door. McGuarty single and then the backbreaking RBI double. This becomes a big batter in this game. Kaiser just looking to keep the Elks attached into this contest, to stay in this game any means necessary. Joe Cutts reached twice and singled his last time. Paces down and away on the breaking ball. The Elks bullpen is still quiet. Trusting Trevor Kaiser to get out of this jam. Caught by Hartlob at second, going to a slide on that line drive. It hung up softly at 66 off the bat, and the Caldera product makes the squeeze. But the Pickles add on the RBI double from Brady McKay. As we go to the middle of this third, let's take a look around the West Coast League on this Wednesday, July the 29th. It's crazy. We only have a couple more days in this month, a couple more days in this summer, frankly. Nanaimo in the non-league up 1-0, bottom 5. Kamloops beating Edmonton 2-1 in the top of the third. Wenatchee and Kelowna all knotted up at 1, top 3. Barry's beating the Bells 2-0 in the bottom of the second. Ridgefield and Corvallis, that's a fun series. Corvallis obviously means a lot more to them. Raptors already locked up a playoff spot, winning the first half. Sweets in a non-league, 2-0, bottom 3. Victoria over Port Angeles, 2-0 in the top of the third. And these Springfield Drifters, up 2-0, bottom 3 against Yakima. There is a real world where this team could win the second half. A team that's only in their 5th year of existence, have never made the playoffs, and they've come out of nowhere as we take a look at the West Coast League standings. Wenatchee's been the best team in this league by far. 33-13, dominating the North. They're going to be the team to knock off. But that entire WCL North is outstanding. The Bells, the Riverhawks, the Falcons, they're all battling there. Nanaimo's looking to make the playoffs for their first time in their franchise's history. Victoria knocking on the door too. And then in the South, Walla Walla is going to get an overall bid for sure at 29-19. But those Drifters at 20-26, look at that record in their last 10, 7-3. They are 2 games back entering tonight of the second half crown. And a team like the Sweets has to be careful because that's a big crown to get. It's the difference between hosting your opening playoff series or not. Pickles also right there, just holding on to a playoff spot in the 4 seed. And that's what makes this series so big for the Portland Pickles. They do not have the most easy remaining schedule at all. Chasing on that is Hartlob down and away. So you still got the Elks. Then this weekend, you go to Walla Walla for 3 games. And then you end at home against Yakima. Those are all playoff teams competing against one another. Hartlob will ground out to the second baseman in McKay, 1 away. But don't you love chaos? The West Coast League North has been known as the chaos region, if you picture the West Coast League as a March Madness bracket. But this year it's the South. The South is undecided. Can the Pickles still reign supreme if they get in? Does Corvallis go back to their old ways? Or is it a new team, a Walla Walla and a Ridgefield, that have entered this conversation to potentially win the division? Eli Pupo in the 9-hole tonight, starting in center field. Left on left with the tough Higgins. Rounds it back up the middle. Ranging to his left is McNeil, and he is so smooth out there at short. 2 away. He's a unique anomaly because he's 6'3" and just over 200 pounds at shortstop, but he moves as fluid as anybody at that position. That is 7 straight retired from the southpaw on Higgins. And he gets the strike on Gurney. Oh, 0-2. Entering this out in Ryan Higgins, 11 Ks to 2 walks. So the scouting report was there that, hey, he's going to pound the zone. These Oaks got to be ready. And although they've only struck out 2 times, they haven't barreled him up. Gurney bloops one into left, but Chilcutt is there. And another batter retired. The Oaks go down in order in the 3rd. We'll go to the 4th. Pickles up 5-0 here in Game 2 of this series. T-shirt toss gets these fans going in between every inning when we do it. Top 4, Trevor Kaiser still going, and his fastball misses away. Nidowitz, Maltz, and then Connor. 2, 3, and 4 in the Pickles order. Take down and away on a ball. Last inning, the Pickles able to add on 1. 7 hits given up from Trevor Kaiser to just 1 on the Elk side. A lot of pitches in the middle of the zone, and the Pickles have been ready to go. Been a unique year for Portland. Of course, coming off another year where they won the West Coast League South, but their first year without Mark Magdaleno at the helm. Now Jim Hoppel's team. It's been a different group of guys, but they're still having success. That's Sky to left, and Murphy makes the catch in the alleyway. You know, there's pressure, too, that comes with Jim Hoppel taking over for a guy like Magdaleno. You win the championship in 2024. You win the South last year and just fall short of the Bellingham Bells. But the Pickles, at just a couple of games below 500, have another chance to make the playoffs. And I'm sure that's what they're relishing in, that opportunity again. Kai Maltz picked up his first hit of the series in the 2nd. Take that breaking ball for a strike. Big heavy cloud in left field was covering the sun for about 10 minutes and now poking back through. In a Big West that has been dominated by UC Irvine for the past couple of seasons, this UC Davis team, we're getting shades of some of their best young players in a Kai Maltz and Elijah McNeil. And if you're an Aggie fan in Northern California, good times can be on the horizon. There's that sunshine. Not the time of night yet where it's truly going to affect the batter. That usually happens around the 6th or 7th inning. Malt again. That one ripped into left at 100 off the bat. They've awoken the beast of Kai Malt. 2 hits in his last 2 ABs.
Batting for the Pickles, first baseman, number 29, MD Connor.
That'll bring up MD Connor. Looks like the Elks have some folks starting to walk down to that bullpen. That's grounded softly to short. Could be 2. Hattenhauer to Hartlob. Throw to first. Not in time. But they get the most important out, which is Kai Malt at second. 2 gone. Connor replacing him at first. You got to be really quick here, and they did all they could. But Connor runs well. Two-way for Elijah McNeil, who we just mentioned. He'll take down. He started in 52 of 52 games at shortstop in his debut season. That is unheard of as a true freshman. From Dublin, California, so staying in that same neck of the woods. And although he just hit 262, he picked up 5 homers, 26 driven in. Smith thought about snapping that down to first. Over there is Connor, who runs well. 8 stolen bases in 9 attempts this year. With 2 outs and McNeil up, maybe a moment to send him. They do not there, and McNeil swings and fouls it. But arguably more impressive than the bat from McNeil has been that glove. Like a gazelle out there at shortstop. Throw over to look at Connor, who's back with a dive. That's Whitcomb over there at first. Keeping ultra close tabs on Connor, who's back with a dive. Hitters count, though, for McNeil, who we'd be looking for a pitch to do damage on. This is away. See Alan Cox waiting out of the dugout there. He was satisfied with that win last night. Elks improved to 500 here at home, but their struggles have come away from Genna. 6-18 on the road this season. McNeil rips one to Pettit, who handles it at third. He goes the easy way. And on the fielder's choice, that'll end the inning. A 5-4 putout ends the top half of the 4th. Elks looking for some juice offensively when we come back. Home half of the 4th inning. Elks trail it 5-0. Getting out hit by 7. But this is the part of the order you want coming up to change everything. That big Ephus-esque breaking ball at 69 miles per hour misses in. Murphy, Cahill, then Pettit. Murph takes a strike. Another member of the UC Davis Aggies. We've been mentioning their name a lot. So ground that one to McKay. 1 gone. Elks have hit a lot of balls on the ground so far tonight. That is their 5th time grounding out. And just the 1 hit, no runs batted in. See the lack of OPS. Also, the last time they had a base runner was back on the hit by pitch to Jackson Murphy. So we've gone all the way around the order. Cahill grounded into a double play his first time. Take a strike on the outside corner. Cahill newly committed to Seattle U. After redshirting his freshman year at UW. But loads of natural talent. Can't wait to see it come all together. Ryan Higgins has been a tough customer for these Elks. This is coming off a night where Ari Kligman went 7 innings as the Pickles starting pitcher. They're getting another outstanding effort from their guy. That just missed a hair down. An impressive 2 from Higgins in his first start of the West Coast League year. He's been one of Jim Hoppel's best relievers, but not in this spot. Cahill, base hit into right. He just hooked a breaking ball he got out in front of. Some speed now on the base. You see that 69 mile per hour breaking ball. And the legs came out of the swing for Cahill, but he still was able to find some green grass. Brady Pettit steps up and takes down and away. Sooner rather than later, if you're the Elks with this huge crowd on hand on this Wednesday night, you want to give them a jolt. Get them reinvigorated into this game. Pettit struck out on 3 pitches his first time through. Final series for him with these Bend Elks before he gears up for next season at San Diego State. Just that one thin cloud in the distance, but the rest of this gorgeous night delivering on all accounts. Pettit's got to protect. Taps it foul. I feel like Brady Pettit last night had one of the more overlooked at-bats of the game, but it's one that ultimately gave Cam Beck a chance to hit with 2 runners on base. He just blooped a single into shallow right field, bat to ball, and it turned the page. As here he'll ground one to Connor, who airmails McNeil at second. Cahill stays there as backing up the throw is Chilcutt. Connor just put too much on it. He's been sure-handed over there and had to hurry with Cahill, who runs well. Even the tall frame of Elijah McNeil cannot haul it in. 2 men on for Brody Whitcomb. He's got the power to get the Elks back in this game. Huge swing and a miss. Not the easiest at-bat at all, left on left with Higgins. Would come his first time, grounded one softly back to the pitcher. Hardy hack and a miss, 0-2. And although Higgins doesn't throw hard, that fastball is just in the mid-80s. When you complement that with breaking stuff that's in the high 60s and you keep the batter in the rocking chair, it still makes for a really tough at-bat. And there to Whitcomb, ultra tough. He strikes out swinging. Third K from Higgins.
Now batting for Bend, shortstop, number 11, Ty Eisenhower.
So pitches through the error on the hit by Brady Pettit to MD Connor. Not out of it just yet, though. Has to face Ty Hattenhauer. That pitch count from Ryan Higgins. Unbelievable. We're in the bottom of the fourth. He's at 44. And the efficiency has just come with finding the zone, generating soft contact from these Elks bats. Hattenhauer takes away. But just getting one back here in the fourth does a lot. Runners on first and second. It's Cahill out there on two, Pettit at first. 5-0 Pickles in the bottom of this fourth. Was late. 2-1. Unbelievable year for Ty at Caldera, where he hit nearly 500. Was towards the top of every offensive statistic in the state. And caught the attention of many. Way ahead now, 3 balls and 1 strike, becoming a big pitch from Ryan Higgins. This is the most trouble he's been in since the first inning, when the first 2 batters for the Elks and Gurney and Murphy reached. Hattenhauer can sit on a pitch that he loves in one spot. He does, but skies one to center. Hangs up enough for Kai Mull to make the catch. And the Elks leave a couple on the bases. We'll go to the fifth, 5-0 Pickles. Top of the 5th inning. Trevor Kaiser is still going for these Elks, and this is what he's done all year. It's turning into a solid out-in, although he's given up 5, because he's given the Elks length, and that's equally as important. It's the call on the outside corner to Grafton Stroop. Stroop, Castillo, then McGuarty. 6, 7, and 8 in the Pickles order. The 4 runs that Kaiser gave up, 4 of the 5 came in the first inning. And since then, he's settled in. He just gave up 1 in the third. Has only punched out 1 since that moment. But pitching to contact and finding success. Stroop pops up the 1-1. To center field, and Pupo makes the one-handed catch. Elks, though, preparing for who comes in after Trevor Kaiser's outing. He is at 84 pitches. This will most definitely be his final inning of work. Luis Castillo reached both times an RBI single back in the first inning from the tall right-handed bat out of the Dominican Republic. Way out in front, 0-2. Arm getting loose in the Elks bullpen. Get that name in a second for you. Got him. Gets Castillo on 3 pitches. That's Nate Goodman, brother of Will Goodman, who's looking to make his Elks debut tonight. And now he's also wearing number 4, just like Will did. Will Goodman's season now done. Many Elks share that same sentiment. But Nate will be after TK, it looks like. Is on the first pitch to McGuarty. Grounds one softly to Hartlob. A 1-2-3 inning from Trevor Kaiser. Well, that opens the door, then maybe he could come out for the 6th. But after that crooked number in the first, Trevor Kaiser turned that out into a positive. Mr. Efficient tonight, Ryan Higgins, the lefty for the Pickles, has been outstanding. Into his 5th inning of work at only 49 pitches. 3 Ks, and that big one, no walks. This into Hayden Smith. Bottom of this Elks order coming up. Elks offense searching for some consistency, just like this entire group. Because although they've had the outbursts a lot of times this year, and that's contributed into not winning back-to-back games since the beginning of July, the next night has been a different story. But a lot of game left. The Elks didn't come to life last night until really that big homer from Cam Beck. Fielded by Connor at first, is flipped to Higgins, is not caught. That is MD Connor's second error of the night. And if the flip was good to Higgins, he's out, but also one when you watch it again where Ryan Higgins should have caught it. Tad out in front. Gives the bat now to Camden Hartlop. Where's to Bunning, gets it down. A perfect push up the first base line. Tough play from the catcher McGuarty, but a good one. Smith up to second. He had to work quickly there, not only the bare hand, but release it in a timely fashion. And was able to do it. On away, and it's Eli Pupo. Grounded out to the shortstop McNeil in the third. Inside move to check on Smith, and the throw goes into center field. Hayden Smith to third. That is the third error from the Portland Pickles. I'm not sure who this goes on, if it's the pitcher or the shortstop that covered. I think that has to go on Higgins. So ball in play from Eli Pupo. The infield shading in a tad, but it still should bring in a run. I'd say they're about a quarter of the way in, where if it's hit hard, they would go home with the throw. Pupo out in front of a breaking ball. Eli yesterday also in the 9-hole, starting in center field. Just picked up a single. Had a scorching hot start and has cooled off since. Man from Redmond. Thought about the safety squeeze to bring in a run, but pulled it back, taking a ball. Pupo still had a good summer campaign, has driven in 9 runs. Seeking to get the Elks on the board. Takes a pitch at 79 that caught a lot of plate. 2-2. You can just hear this crowd. They want to get loud. Pupo chops one. Tough play for Higgins, falling off the mound, but makes it. Coming in to score those, Hayden Smith. Elks are on the board. I mean, running back and catching that on the high backhand. I feel like all night Ryan Higgins has made not the routine plays look really routine. Fields his position well as a pitcher. 2 away, it's Wynn Gurney. Gurney in his second year with the group. 1 for 2, had a hard hit single to start off the offense for the Elks, and drives that one deep down the left field line. It's gone. Had to wait for the signal from home plate umpire Perry Schofield, and Jim Hopple and the rest of the Pickles group is irate. The bullpen can't believe it. I'm not sure where it hit. We couldn't tell from our angle, but it's a home run from Gurn. And if this does stand, that would be Win Gurney's first of the year. But they call it foul. This is perplexing because Perry Schofield, the home plate umpire, is the one staring right down that third base line. So you think that he has the best angle as to where it ultimately lands. Alan Cox now talking to Schofield. Derek Dunbar was the one that called it foul. And we'll see if here or anywhere we can get a look at it. I mean, no idea. I will say, if the entire Portland Pickles bullpen that is looking right at it in front of their face is that frustrated, Derek Dunbar probably got it right. Gurney takes strike 3. Now, 2 pitches in baseball can be polar opposite. Gurney thought he had a home run, instead it was foul. And then strikes out looking the very next pitch. Can we tell here as Chilcutt goes back on it near that 3:30 mark and left? See if we can get an angle when we come back. But a new pitcher enters for the Elks. Top 6 after this. Elks get one in the bottom of the 5th, and Trevor Kaiser's night is done. New pitcher on the mound. It's the brother of now former Bend Elks shortstop Will Goodman, Nate Goodman, the crafty righty, dips down and fires. Bunted up the third base line, foul. Nate Goodman from Occidental College and ultimately from right here in Bend, Oregon, went to Bend High, just like his brother Will. At 5'10", went 13 1/3 with 7 Ks at Occidental this year. Allowed 7 earned runs. Some reinforcement for this Elks pitching staff entering the final 3 series of the year. Brady McKay starts off this inning, 9-1-2 on the Pickles side coming up. McKay grounds one softly. Hartlobb's gotten a lot of action at short. Picks it on the short hop and got him. The Caldera connection Hard lob to Whitcomb. And that was not an easy play by any means from the Elks second baseman. He had to race up, field this on a difficult short hop. And then the stretch. Tall Brody Whitcomb using his whole frame. Back to the top of the order with Masa Chilcutt. Chilcutt hits it foul. Nate Goodman taking his bros number, that number 4. That keeps everything that's logistically complicated much more simple. Goodman to Goodman. Both number 4 in that home white. Chilcutt's 1 for 2, a single and a line out. As he hit Chilcutt. Dipped down to his sidearm release, and the 73-mile-per-hour pitch ran in and got him. Right off that left calf. As a speedy base runner Chilcutt is, you never want to get hit in the legs. Those are your superpower. But Chilcutt looks fine leading off of first. Goodman home to Nidowitz, misses low. In modern baseball, you don't see many guys like Nate Goodman. Alex Figueroa with the Elks, a similar delivery where he gets low from that low three-quarter release. Goodman might be even lower. He's true sidearm. And will never overpower you with velocity. Will softball you a bit, relying on the command. Heater in the low 70s, can get up to the 80s too, and then the breaking stuff. This is in at 72. Nidowitz 0 for 3, and you see now at this time of the night, that sun starting to gleam into the eyes of the left-handed batters in particular. Not an easy sight from Nidowitz. Finds that one right to Whitcomb at the bag, who fielded it and touched first. Not enough time to throw to second to get Chilcutt, but a great play knocking that down. He just lunged to his left and corralled it. Chilcutt was going as soon as he saw it hit the turf, so no play at second. To Wayne, it's Kaimo. Checks his swing and misses away. Malt probably thinking finally getting things going at Genna Stadium. Felt weird to see the league leader in batting average go hitless yesterday, but that didn't last long. Back to his form. Take in with 2 outs and open base. No reason to give Malt a pitch to hit, but the danger with this Pickles offense, how it's constructed, is right after Malt you have MD Connor, and he's not any easier of a customer to face. Goodman on the 2-0. Malt out in front. Difficult look going from Kaiser with a much more firm pitch to now Goodman for these hitters. They got to stay on that back foot and not get too antsy. Easy for those eyes to light up. Attenhauer playing him deep in the 6-hole at shortstop. Goodman misses low. 3 balls and 1 strike. The entire crowd on this gorgeous Wednesday night remaining. Usually if there's a part of the park that's a little empty. It's by that Elks dugout, but nope, not tonight. That is equally as packed. Alt takes, full count. And why not, as the summer's wrapping up for everybody, come out to another home game. Elks after this one just have 4 more total home games unless they make the playoffs with a late run. And make sure to get your tickets, because no other place you'd want to be in this great city in Central Oregon than at an Elks game, as fun as it gets. All pops one up to shallow center field. Pupo can't get there. Rounding third and heading home is Chilcutt. The throw's offline. It's an RBI single from Kai Malt, his 3rd hit of the night, making it 6-1. You know, a guy like Kai Malt has it going when even a ball hits 66. Gets himself a knock, showing up the exact same in the box score. M.D. Connor takes a strike on the inside corner. The key difference from the Pickles is those runners yesterday that were getting left on base are coming in tonight. Fouled away, got a piece of Smith. Stealing on the pitch was Kai Malt. He'll have to retreat. The 2 out hitting 2, giving the Pickles some more opportunities. Connor got things kick-started in the first inning with an RBI double. He's 1 for 3. And will lace that into right for another hit. It almost squirts by Gurney in right, who fields it at his shoe tops. Back-to-back singles from the Pickles as Goodman's starting to get hit around. Now Elijah McNeil. Almost hit McNeil, who leans out of the way. Today's Kids Get In free night here at Genna, so a lot of youngins watching the Elks. And I love the full circle moments coming to fruition. A guy like Nate Goodman, who was once a kid here in Bend, now pitching on the Genna rubber as McNeil's out in front and swings through it. Also had an RBI double in that first inning. Last time grounded into a fielder's choice. Ropes that into left field. Murphy got a poor jump and it sails over his head. Malt's going to come in and score. Rounding third and heading home is M.D. Connor. No throw. It's a 2 RBI double from Elijah McNeil, and it blows this game wide open. 8-1 Portland. If the first step from Murphy was back there, he might have had a shot, but had to freeze on a line in a sense. And a ball that was hit 105 just sailed over his head. Second double of the night from McNeil. Now 3 runs batted in just this game alone. Crafton Stroop fouls it away. I feel for Goodman because he had 2 outs with just a runner on first, and it looked like, okay, another inning where the Elks get their confidence back. But the 2-out hit-in has loomed large on the Pickles side. And all season, too, on the Elks, from a pitching perspective, they've given out those 2-out hits. They've been close to getting out of rallies, but have left the door just a crack too wide. Two strikes to Stroop. And the breaking ball is fouled away. Captain Stroop from Western Oregon. Hartford, South Dakota native. That's been a key from the Pickles too, is they've been able to find diamonds in the rough when it comes to small school great players. As Stroop picks up a hit up the middle. McNeil gets the wave around third. Pupo's got no play. It's 9-1. That is 4 consecutive 2-out hits in this 6th inning. That has changed this game entirely. And the Elks, still no one warming up in the bullpen. Still just a couple guys stretching. Riker Altizer getting loose. Maybe the toughest customer Goodman's have to face yet, and Castillo stealing his Stroop. The throw down to second is late. And Grafton, while Goodman's been looking to figure out the strike zone, steals second. Even if Hartlob squeezed that, the throw was offline. 28th pitch of the inning. This is down and in. This packed house right now is just quiet. A tough, inexplicable scenario. Castillo struck out his last time. Hitters count to him. And will take low. (3-0) the count with 2 outs. 4 runs in this 6th inning. Castillo got turned away with the green light and fouled it. 12 hits on the Pickle side to just 2 from the Elks. They're looking to rekindle some of their old offensive magic this year to push them over the top on a potential postseason run. Castillo walks.
Now batting for the Pickles, catcher number 90, McGuarty.
This will be the 9th batter to the dish this inning, and Tyson McGuarty. Pickles have changed this game. And mentioned earlier how Trevor Kaiser was keeping them in striking distance despite the offense not coming to life yet. But this will be a tough inning to come back from. As McGuarty pops it up to Hattenhauer at short, he makes the two-handed squeeze to end that inning. But 4 from the Pickles in the 6th puts them on top big. Jackson Murphy on the first pitch, grounds out to Elijah McNeil, who comes in, fields, and throws to first. Elks now trail it by a score of 9-1 after 4 runs in the top of the 6th. Elijah McNeil just makes practically every play out there at shortstop. That came flying off on that one. But he has impressed a lot. All of us getting one of our first looks at him. Cahill grounds one up the third base line and fair. With his speed, this should be a double. Chilcutt picks it up. The throw in, not handled by the shortstop in McNeil. It is a double from Will Cahill. .93 going line to line. And that quality of a young hitter can get you places. That throws on the money. You may have a chance, but Cahill runs extremely well. Tonight's cleanup hitter, Brady Pettit, chance to hit with a runner on base. He'll ground one back. Knocked off of Higgins. Retired on one pitch. Higgins popped up quick after he knocked it down to maybe throw it back to second. But just stuck with it and got the easy out. Two-way, and it's Brody Whitcomb. Credit to Ryan Higgins and major credit to this Pickles starting pitching, because they have put on a clinic this series that has given them a chance to win both games. Ari Klingman went 7 innings last night. In that game, only allowed 2 runs. And Higgins here has only allowed 1 into the 6th. With the pitch count that sits at 66. One and two. It hasn't been a pitching staff that's gotten this level of production all season long. Towards the bottom in the West Coast League and runs allowed from a staff side. And also the same thing can be said when it comes to whip. Saw that at Walker Stadium when the Elks took 2 out of 3 in that series. But a newfound identity from this Pickles team and their starting pitching. Ryan Higgins, a 2-out punch out. Gets him out of the frame. He gave up the double to Will Cahill, but none more. Just 3 hits allowed and 6 innings of work. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Aiden O'Neill, happy to join you on this Wednesday night. There's been a lot of misfortune, though, from the Elks in comparison to their win yesterday. Back to the tough old ways, and you're kicking yourself thinking about it. Down by 8 here late. Let's take another look around the West Coast League while we have a chance, though. The 9-mo on top in the non-league 3-1. Kamloops beating Edmonton 6-1 bottom 6. Apple Sox over the Falcons 4-3 top 6. The Bells in some interleague action in Salem up 3-2 bottom 5. Raptors beating the Knights 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Walla Walla, I know it's a non-league, but they continue to show their colors as arguably the best team in the West Coast League South Division. 13-0 there. Harbor Cats beating the Lefties 3-1 bottom 6. And these Drifters 7-1, top 6 on the road. Riker Altizer into the game as the new pitcher for the Elks. In for Nate Goodman out of Oregon Tech. Throw a big breaking ball that's called a strike. Altizer's had a rough go of things as an Elk. ERA over 16. Last through in Ridgefield. In the 6th inning, when the Pickles pushed across 4 runs, they brought 9 to the plate. So just like that 6th inning, Brady McKay will start things off. He was actually retired to start that inning. And then they still brought everybody to the plate. Altizer with a big curveball at 69 called a strike. RBI double from McKay came back in the 3rd. Altizer misses down and away. Nice sunset starting to emerge near the Sisters Mountains. When we get our best sunsets here in Bend, and going to school in Arizona, see a lot of good ones out there. But Bend, there's something different here. When we get the best ones, there's heavy clouds overhead. Tonight they're just sprinkled. Still enjoy every last moment of those sunsets each night. Payoff to McKay. Altizer walks him. Lead-off runner reaches. Elks have only struck out 4 batters, and they've also walked that same exact amount. 12 hits allowed from this staff. Top of the order in Masa Chilcutt. Take a strike. Now, speaking on sunsets, Bend is great, so's Arizona. The best one I've seen, Missouri. The Midwest is a bit different when it comes to the way the sun sets, lights up the farmland. Hayes back safely on a dive. Chilcutt's reached on 2 free passes. On a single, he's gotten on base at a high rate, exactly what Jim Hopple's looking for out of his leadoff guy. Strike called, and the snap throw to first is late. Chilcutt after a year at Rice University. Been great from the Pickles. Long way from home, San Antonio, Texas. Here now in the Pacific Northwest. Chilcutt flies one to shallow right field, and Gurney with closing speed makes the catch. First out acquired. Cody Nidowitz now digging in. Game 3 of the series, same time, same place tomorrow night. We hope to join you on Bend Elks YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. Also have our members-only stream. You can watch ad-free Elks baseball. Find that on our YouTube channel as well. And make sure if you have subscribed to watch on the separate members-only stream so you get that ad-free baseball today. Sure, a lot of folks disappointed with no drone tonight. I am too. I was soaking in every moment of that. The 1-0 misses in and allows for McKay to move up. I know no drone tonight, but will be something we feature in the future. In some of those shots, getting to look at the entire city of Bend, the skyline in the distance, it all was perfect. Three and 0 from Altizer. Unable to find that strike zone. Walks Nidowitz on 4 pitches. Second walk allowed this inning. Those are the only 2 base runners the Pickles have gotten here in the 7th inning. Altizer to Molt. Misses low. Three-hit night from Kai Molt out of Santa Barbara, California. And a young hitter with loads of potential still to come. Two and 0. Riker Altizer, you feel for him because this has been the case for him this season. He's just not been able to find the zone, the Redmond, Washington native. 10 walks to just 3 strikeouts this year. That's the 7th straight ball from Altizer. 4-pitch walk from Nidowitz. And now got to come into Molt. Gets the call at the top of the zone. "47 games with 40 starts across the infield and outfield in his freshman year Molt had at UC Davis. No walk. And the bases are loaded in this 7th inning on 3 base on balls. Isaac Pfeiffer down there in the bullpen, looking to get somebody loose. Josh Mejia is standing there. Owen Smith is taking off his hoodie. And Wes Harper is going out to the mound to have a chat with the righty and Altizer. Entire infield up. Owen Smith is the man chosen to start throwing. M.D. Connor already had his fair share of success against the Elks. Best chance he's gotten thus far right here. Top of the 7th, a chance to really put this game away. Swings through the first pitch he sees. Connor from Austin, Texas. That South Alabama just had one plate appearance in 2026, but showcasing all of the skills on display this year. Tough going up against a Pickles team like this, walking 3 batters in an inning. Because even when you force the offense to do the job, they've put up 12 hits. McKay at third, Nidowitz at second, Maltz at first with 1 out. Connor almost got hit, had to jump out of the way. Have to come in. Does, and Connor grounds it foul. Mejia race for it, picks it up. Mejia and Altizer, both from Oregon Tech. That relationship with pitching coach at OIT in Klamath Falls, Johnny Kemp, carrying over into this year in Central Oregon. Full count to Connor. Full count, 1 out. Altizer got to throw a strike. And dangerous territory against the powerful lefty. It's to the backstop. And it's a walk that brings in Brady McKay and gives the Pickles their 10th run of the game. Fourth walk of the inning. The Pickles have scored without recording a hit this frame. 7 walks to 4 strikeouts on the Elks pitching side. Elijah McNeil digs in. Takes a curveball up and in. That's the side of baseball that hurts the most, especially when you're facing a Pickles team. 12 hits, 9 runs batted in. Is the walks make you feel helpless. As you sit out there and the defense is unable to get a shot. And you feel for Riker. Working hard to get out of this inning. A ground ball would do the trick. McNeil's already got 3 runs batted in and a pair of doubles tonight. Fastball just skids the bottom of the zone. And the defense waiting patiently for some action. Steeler hitters count to McNeil. 3-1. Be tough to imagine that if Riker cannot get McNeil, will go any longer in this game. Defense straight up across the board. The 5th walk of the inning brings in Cody Nidowitz, and that's it. The night of Riker Altizer is over. Still will inherit those 3 runners on base, 11-1 Pickles, and Owen Smith coming into this game when we come back. 11-1 the score. Pickles on top and still rallying here in the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Aiden O'Neill, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. You feel for Riker Altizer. No hits in this inning so far from the Pickles, but 5 walks have plated a run. They've loaded the bases. Now the Elks will go to Aiden Bray. This series in general has big playoff implications, especially for the Portland Pickles, who at the moment hold that final playoff spot. But look who's just a game back of them. The Springfield Drifters, who are on top tonight, so the Pickles winning this game will be big. Not only are the Drifters chasing an overall playoff spot, though, they are looking to make the playoffs by winning the second half of the West Coast League, which a couple of weeks ago would have been a pipe dream, and now is a real possibility. Aiden Bray, new pitcher into the game, the Elk Southpaw, will throw a pitch to Stroop that's nubbed back to him. He'll go to home with the throw, and the force out complete. So 1-2 on the force out put out, just 46 off the bat. And Bray throws junk. That was just a 65-mile-per-hour pitch that was tapped back to him. They're loaded for Luis Castillo. Castillo takes low. Aiden Bray had a couple of blow-up outings, and that's why that ERA stands where it does. But a 0 here would do a lot. At times when that ERA is high, it also can go down equally as quick. But he hits Luis Castillo, and coming in to score is MD Connor. Just grazed the top of the foot. That's the second time Castillo has been hit by a pitch.
Now batting for the Pickles, number 90,
12-1 Pickles and Tyson McGuarty coming up. Fifth at bat of the night. Singled in the third and reached on an error in the first that brought in a run. Aiden Bray in his second stint with the Elks after last year. This is high on the curveball from Eugene, Oregon, was at St. Martin's University this last year. Also threw at Corbin. And no more college eligibility after this summer, so Bray even said it when he first came to Bend. However they want to use me, they can. I will throw as many pitches until my arm falls off. Three balls and no strikes to McGuarty. But Bray known for being a finesse pitcher, working on the outer edges of the zone. Needing to throw a strike now. Four-pitch walk to McGuarty will bring in McNeil. If you believe it, in an inning where the Pickles have scored 4 runs, they have no hits. Brady McKay takes outside. Six walks and a hit by pitch in this 7th. That curveball misses away. Also, these Pickles have just kept the bat on their shoulders and have been rewarded for it. They've officially, for the second straight inning, bat all the way around. McKay takes a strike. And an ironic cheer from this Elks home crowd. Two-one with 2 outs, and they're still loaded. Bray misses low, 3-1. Elks have had some lopsided games this year. 31-0 against Ridgefield, 20-2 against Corvallis, 16-3 against Ridgefield again last Sunday. And unfortunately tonight, it's felt the exact same way because of these crooked numbers. RBI walk to Brady McKay, it's 14-1.
Now batting for Portland, number 49, Chilcott.
Elks tonight is a pitching staff. 81 strikes. Make that 82 strikes to 79 balls. And that is not a category from balls to strikes that you want to be close. Pickles have 50 strikes to just 18 balls because Ryan Higgins has gone the whole way and just pounded the zone. Asa Chilcutt takes, it's 2-0. This is one of the more unique innings in baseball history. Because rarely do you see this many runs come in on no hits. Bray loops in a strike at 64. Chilcutt's 6th time up has been productive as the leadoff man. Flew out his last time. Chilcutt lines one foul. 2 strikes on the leadoff man. Castillo at third, McWarty at second, McKay at first. There's been 3 innings where the Pickles have seen a crooked number, the 1st, the 6th, and now the 7th. And the 10 walks to 4 strikeouts have made it difficult on the Elks, to say the least. Chilcutt fouls it away and stays alive. Somebody's got to get these outs and keep at least members of the bullpen intact to some degree. Two with 2 away. Ray looking to get out of it. Chilcutt past Pettit for a base hit into left. Castillo scores. McWarty gets held at third. That's another run tacked on. 15 now for the Pickles. And Aiden Bray's night is done. The 3rd pitcher of this inning alone coming in. And that right there was the first hit of this 6-run 7th inning that has been surrounded by the base on balls. It's Smith. Owen Smith representing the third pitcher of this inning alone. 6 runs in from the Portland Pickles here this inning, 15-1 the score. Cody Nidowitz, the switch hitter, batting from the right side. This is his first time getting a rep righty. Smith out of San Diego, California, Grossmont College. Similar to Bray, a few blow-up outings have ballooned that ERA. Misses down and away. But we've almost forgot that Nidowitz was a switch hitter, because yesterday the Elks threw 4 righties, and then this is their first lefty to face Nidowitz. That's an interesting dynamic. Of course, you're a switch hitter, but to stay loose mentally on that side of the plate when you haven't been there for a while. They'll take a strike. Two with 2 outs. Owen Smith looking to do the job and finally get the Elks out of this long inning. But he misses away on the changeup, 3-2. Runners will be on the move with full count and 2 outs. And he strikes out Nidowitz. Crowd gives Smith a cheer. He faces one batter. He gets out of it. Stretch time at Genna, but after 6 from the Pickles in this inning, it's 15-1.
Take me out to the ball game. The old ball game. Nice job, Elks fans. Now, it's time to dance for your supper. The more you
Embarrass your kid. If you embarrass your kid, you're gonna get a t-shirt.
Ryan Higgins, long time to sit in between innings. Jim Hopple says his night is done, and they'll go to Jacob Bellamy, the 6-foot righty from Washington. Throw home to Ty Hattenhauer and miss up. A 7.31 ERA from Bellamy, 18 Ks, a 1.94 whip. Hattenhauer, Smith, and Hartlob this inning. Under the beautiful night sky that Ben provides tonight. Sunset in the distance. Elks were in this game And I know the Pickles had 4 runs in the first inning that got them behind the 8-ball early, but they still were in striking distance. And then these last 2 innings, 10 combined runs have really blown the game open. Bellamy, a Portland pilot. Attenhauer takes down and away. From Washougal, Washington. Freshman year didn't throw it all with Portland, a team that did well in the West Coast Conference. Now getting a chance in Portland. Staying close to home for the summer. Way ahead here is Attenhauer. 0 for 2. This is just Ty's 3rd at bat. Swings through a fastball he chased high. Bellamy's thrown 16 innings, 18 Ks. To 13 walks. And he walks Attenhauer here. That is the first walk from the Pickles as a staff, and we're in the 7th inning. That's how good Higgins was. He just continuously pounded the zone and put the pressure on the Elks. Hayden Smith steps up. Pops it foul and out of play. You know, credit to this Elks fan base. We still got about 1,000 fans sticking around, as loyal as they come. Back-to-back years, the Elks have made the postseason. But this year, things have just been different. And it has come after the Elks started this year 3-0. Opening weekend sweep to the Springfield Drifters was capped off by a Sunday evening walk-off winner on an error from relief pitcher Michael Klein. Then the Elks went on a 6-game road trip right after that and lost all 6. Quickly, the season has gone away. And that's what happens in summer ball. It's busy times, 6 games a week. Staring down the barrel now of this being one of the 3 final series of the year. Smith fouls back to 1-2. Hayden Smith reached on an error from the third baseman in M.D. Connor his first time. Or make that his last time up. First time grounded out. The transfer from Glendale Community College, now heading to Utah. Foul that away. Catcher room now for the Elks that consists of really just Isaac Pfeiffer and Hayden Smith. Jordan Ortiz has been dealing with a hand injury, which has prevented him from catching. Elks lost Marcus Galvin not too long ago. Same with Nate Snakenborg. Smith takes just a bit off the plate. Also have to give credit to Perry Schofield tonight, home plate umpire. The fact that neither side has said a word or noticed him, that means that you're doing your job as an ump. He's been dialed in on the strike zone. Bellamy's 2-2. This is high on a curveball. Just looking to battle along. Give yourself some confidence going into the series finale tomorrow. Smith pops up the 3-2. M.D. Connor at first. There's one away. Now Camden Hartlob. Our lob 0 for 2. Laid down a bunt. That was successful. That put out at first back in the 5th inning. Hartlob in his first couple of games as a Bend Elk, part of that collection of guys where they grew up coming to these games as a Bend, Oregon native, and now being able to don the Elks uniform. Last year when the Elks still had the Bend Bucks, similar to the Portland Gherkins with the Pickles, these young players had a chance to get in that lineup, play at Genna a bit earlier in their career. Now since the Bucks disbanded, towards the end of the season, these young guys, these local products, with all the Division I players leaving and new faces coming in and out, they're now getting those reps. And Hartlob in that group. Way up 2-0. Takes a fastball for a strike. Camden Hartlob still looking for his first Elks hit. This could be a good time to get it. Started yesterday, went 0 for and 0 for 2 tonight. 2-1 the count, 1 out in this bottom of the 7th. Strike just got the top of the zone. Three and 2 to Camden. And you could tell yesterday that extra momentum, motivation for Camden coming into the night. I can't even imagine all the emotions that were going through his head, getting his first Elk start. And he lines one into right for a hit. There's Hartlob's first Elks knock. Fun moment at Genna, regardless of the score. A hit from Hartlob you won't forget. Eli Pupo, also another local player. Take up and in. I mean, this is unique to the Elks. Usually, in last year, we saw a couple of Bend Elks that were local. Simon Lemke, Finn Edwards, two of the Elks' best pitchers. Isaac Pfeiffer was in the mix. Ben Bucks and Elks, Pupo also. But tonight's lineup unique is in there's more than I've ever seen. Brody Whitcomb, Ty Hattenhauer, Camden Hartlob, Eli Pupo. Exactly what head coach Alan Cox is hoping to grow. Is a team here with the Elks that are the college version of a lifelong process building these young kids into grown men. And it starts with the youth baseball. Each member of the Elks coaching staff works with the youth during the season. And think about how special it would be as if the same coaches coach the same kid from age 5 all the way to their 20s. And misses low and goes by the catcher and McGuarty. Both runners move up 90 feet. And it gives Pupo an RBI chance. Jacob Bellamy's had some control issues coming in out of the bullpen. Responsible for that lone walk. Time now called from members of the infield, and McGuarty will join him out there. Long chat from McWardy and his pitcher. And this crowd growing restless finally does depart. Upo up 3-1 in the count. He can zero in on a pitch he loves. Infield, of course, back. The goal's to keep the line moving. Upo times it back, fouling it away. But the ultimate vision from Alan Cox is exactly what I just mentioned. All these young players currently in Bend, one day hopefully being Elks. And if anyone can do it, it's Alan, who's already had that experience in Okotoks. Upo strikes out on the payoff. Nice location there from Bellamy up and away. Look at the Elks' upcoming schedule as the season comes to a close. Absolutely crazy. We're already at the end of July. Still the Pickles tomorrow night. It'll be the series finale, likely the decider. Then the Berries for 3. And then the Drifters at the start of next week, the final road trip. Gurney chops one high into the air. McNeil fields on the run. And a stretch by Connor gets him to end the 7th. Elks leave 2 runners in scoring position. Still 15-1. Owen Smith gets himself another inning of work in this Pickles blowout thus far. Malt, Connor, McNeil, heart of the order, 2 up. These last 2 innings, the Pickles offense has really come to life. Malt takes a strike. Malt's been a big part of it all tonight. One of the best Pickles for a reason. 3 hits and also reached on a walk. One and one as Smith misses away. An OPS over 1,000 as a team tonight. Just dominated on this side of the ball. And wherever you look, I mean, you can say the same about the pitching too. Kept the Elks in check. Not been able to rebound offensively. I'm sure for Jim Hopple as well, this is encouraging for him and the Pickles. They dropped a series to the Springfield Drifters, then the Walla Walla Sweets. But to see the offense come to life just reminds him that, hey, we're still here. Hoppel in his first year as manager with the Pickles was on staff last year, but under Mark Magdaleno. Smith on the payoff. Gets small looking. Back-to-back Ks from Owen Smith going back to the end of the 7th. He's only faced 2 batters and has been great. The tongs are not supposed to fall into that. Tough. Connor takes outside. And even more tough. That's why a lot of these people stick around, is for the alcohol sales to stay. That caught a piece of Smith, but he's all right. That's been a disagreement and a dispute amongst a lot of lifelong baseball fans with the new addition of the pitch clock, especially in Major League Baseball, is they feel like their consumption of beer or alcohol goes down. Because after beer 1, we're already in the 6th inning. Whoa, what happened? Whereas before, when you had a 3.5-hour game, you'd be able to have a couple before you even got into the middle innings. Two and one to M.D. Connor. 2 runs batted in for him tonight. Had an RBI walk in the 7th.
My friend said that.
Pop it up foul. That was a 7th inning from the Pickles, where they scored 6 runs on just 1 hit. Riker Altizer and Aiden Bray couldn't find it. Connor stays alive. Another guy that's been impressive, M.D. Connor. The quality of at-bat, that long homer to right field last night. Good player. And a guy that Pickles fans have started to fall in love with. He takes up, but it's a strike in any part of the game, and especially in a 15-1 game. That's got to be a punch-out. Getting chilly. Bringing the full body blanket to the yard. I think that's a wise decision. Folks, it's not 73 degrees. I think the wind may be contributing into why it feels a little colder up here. We have the press box window open. It feels colder than 70. But the numbers don't lie. Connor strikes out swinging. How about this from Owen Smith? 3 batters faced and 3 strikeouts. Prettiest line of the night. And it looks like the Pickles may be going to their bench. Catcher Chase Logan is going to pinch hit for Elijah McNeil. Chance for Hoppel to see some members of his bench get a little bit of extra work. Logan, a catcher. Interested to see if he ends up staying in this game as the night goes on after this at-bat. Check to swing and win around. That big curveball from Owen Smith. Working. He's found something in this outing so far. Back to it, and Logan swings through. You can find a spark in any way, even when you're down big. And the Elks' jolt tonight has come from number 50. Nice idea on the changeup down. Logan takes away. In limited appearances from Chase, but an OPS over 1,000. Perk of these Pickles, a deep bench. Checked his swing, didn't go around. That one looked like he did from up here in the press box. Dunbar does not agree. Owen Smith was walking off the mound, so maybe that contributed into Dunbar holding off. Checked his swing this time and went around this time. Logan thought it may be ball 4, but Owen Smith, he deserves a big round of applause because 4 batters faced and he struck out all 4 of them. As Logan checked it there. Yep. Through the bottom of the 8th we go. Bottom of the 8th inning. Pickles up big here in game 2 of this 3-game series. Jacob Bellamy will stay in this game on the mound, and he'll face Jackson Murphy. Looks like an equipment malfunction from Perry Schofield and his mask. Home plate umpire, but gets it resolved. Here's Bellamy. Zeroing in on Murphy, who's 0 for 2. Fouling that away. Did get on a hit by pitch. Back in his first at-bat. Murphy from Fresno, California, attends UC Davis. 39 games with them this last year and now entering his senior campaign. Aggie teammates on the other side, and McNeil and Malt. Bellamy hasn't been as efficient as his starter in Ryan Higgins. I'd guess in this sort of game, though, looking to go the rest of the way. Murphy pops up the 1-1 to shallow center field, and Malt is there. One out. Bringing up Will Cahill. Elks tonight have just 4 total team hits, and Cahill has 2 of them. Doubled his last time. Take in. 1 run batted in, a team 407 OPS. His Pickles staff has stifled the Elks. Huge swing and a miss. Cahill was looking to leave earth. But all the potential from the young outfielder. Did not see the field at all with the Washington Huskies. And I'm intrigued by a full season of Cahill because his natural talent, as he swings through that one, is through the roof. As a young outfielder, the power-speed combo. He can really hit. Strikes out looking. Some paint from Bellamy. 2 away in this 8th. Bringing up Brady Pettit. Pettit, who's 0 for 3. Did reach on an error, though. Bellamy just filling it up, and in a 14-run lead, he has the luxury to do so. Our preferred section just behind home plate, this right side. Just 2 kids, as loyal as ever, staying locked in. I'd love to get a look at that conversation. What are they chatting about? Well, one day, we'll both be on the Elks and dominating. That's the thing with the young baseball players. You got to have the bling and the swag. They both got those big chains on. 1-2 to Pettit. An impeccable inning from Jacob Bellamy. Did give up a couple of base runners in the 7th, but that has not been the same here. Pettit strikes out swinging. A 1-2-3 8th inning. 15-1 Pickles going to the 9th on Bend Elks YouTube. So this is what they were talking about. What sort of moves are we going to hit between the break? What do we call that one? Surfing a little bit, left to right. I like it. Staying locked in. Isaac Pfeiffer is the new pitcher into this game. The catcher, his first appearance on the mound for the Elks. That pitch was at 85. Pfeiffer as a catcher, of course, can throw hard. And he gives up a single to Grafton Stroop. Pfeiffer, elite. No runs given up, no Ks, and a .00 whip that will change in just a second because he gave up the hit to the first batter he faced. Castillo swings through it. Isaac Pfeiffer looks pretty good on the mound. In high school, I bet he threw, but he hits Castillo. My goodness, Luis Castillo has gotten hit by 3 pitches tonight, and this one is 77 in between the numbers. This ran up and in. It actually caught him closer to the forearm. Took a moment there to shake it off. Now Tyson McGuarty. Even at the catcher position, usually when a position player comes into the game, they just lob it in. Pfeiffer's giving it his all. A tryout in his own right to be a member of this bullpen, maybe. .83 called a strike. I'm going to do my best to find Isaac Pfeiffer's high school stats, because I'm convinced that he threw at some point on the mound. Surely. This is out there. All right, got the max preps. Let's see what we find here. One and one the count to McGuarty. RBI walk his last time. And he'll line a ball into shallow right. Gurney slid but couldn't keep it in front of him completely. It just squirted by. And it's down for a single. The bases are loaded with nobody out. That perfect ERA in the balance now. Unless he's able to get out of this tough inning. Slider misses down and away to Brady McKay. This surely has to be one of the best offensive performances from the Pickles this year. Fastball is called a strike. Knocking on the door of their most runs in a game. They've scored 15. One other time, they put up 16 against the Raptors on the 12th of this month. Fastball is fouled away. 2-2. But their most in league action was actually their first home series of the year against Victoria. They scored 18 in the game, so that's the number they're going to try to get to. Dave flies one to left, caught by Murphy. Tagging at third and scoring is Stroop, making that 16 on the sac fly. And to the top of the order with Masa Chokat. With that there, the third RBI from the 9-hole batter in Brady McKay. Ideal from his perspective. Fastball misses away. Can't find any stats from Pfeiffer. That might be something we got to ask him post-game. Oh, the strike to Chilcutt. RBI single in the 7th inning from Massa. This is his 7th at-bat of the game. Went around. And we were holding on to that 0 ERA. No longer the case. A 20 whip is unfair. Tried to go to the breaking ball that missed outside. 2-2 the count with 1 out, runners on first and second. Pfeiffer from Tualatin, just outside of Portland, and a Portland pilot himself. Talked with him pregame yesterday, has spent a lot of time playing games at Walker Stadium, the home of the Pickles. But none of those times came on the mound. A catcher, a corner outfielder, and now a new role. Chilcutt stays alive and fouls it back. Gorgeous night skies, the wind starting to pick it up from right to left. Chilcutt just doesn't go away. Just 5'7". That's the beautiful thing about this sport, is no matter what your stature might be, you can still be one of the best players on your team. Jose Altuve, arguably the best Astro of all time. Similar story. It's grounded to Pettit at third. He goes to second for 1. It sailed on Hartlob, so he wasn't able to fire it back to first. Fielder's choice marks the 2nd out of the inning. Pettit there. Short hop, bounced up at the last second. This is still Cody Nidowitz, but Perry Schofield has been messing with his mask. Rarely do you see an umpire equipment malfunction. It's usually the umpire helping out the catcher when his mask falls apart or the glove is not working like it normally does, especially in youth baseball. But Perry gets things squared away. That fastball right there didn't get the call. And when you work in a small sample size, 1 out can change everything when it comes to your numbers. Already down to a 13-5. Nidowitz's 7th at bat. He's also looking for his first hit. Pfeiffer steady with that 85-mile-per-hour fastball. This is low, 3-0 the count. Three and one. On third, Castillo. We're already on first. And that's laced for a single into right. Or make that Chilcutt on first. Castillo scores. Chilcutt to second. (17-1). Defense staying the same as the start. Murphy, Pupo, Gurney, Pettit and Hattenhauer, Hartlob and Whitcomb, with Smith catching. And a pinch hitter into the game for Kai Malt now is Caleb Duncan. Duncan takes low. Duncan started yesterday in that 9-hole and reached in 4 of his 5 plate appearances, picking up an RBI. Gives Malt, who's been their best player. An early night off. Pfeiffer's 2-0 gets the outer third. Just unfair. It's tough. Position player, you're looking for bragging rights with a clean inning, and this hasn't been one for Fife. Duncan hits the ball well to center field, but it hangs up for Pupo to end the inning. 2 more runs in from the Portland Pickles. They add on to their lead, 17-1. Pickles go to Steven Ferguson, the 6'2", 290-pound lefty. Sterling College in Sterling, Kansas. And he's been good with these Pickles, a 2.7 ERA, 1K, a .9 whip. And the job here to close the door on the Elks.
For the Elks, number 32, Garrett Schmokel.
Garrett Schmokel's getting at that bat. The relief pitcher for the Elks. Elbow guard and leg guard on. Lobs in a 62-mile-per-hour pitch, then misses. So this is Schmokel for Whitcomb. Schmokel out of Portland, Oregon. Normally just an arm for these Elks. And he'll take outside. Now, the truth is that all these guys at one point in their lives did hit. We'll see what that Schmokel swing looks like. Not too bad. Missing through it. After Schmokel scheduled is Ty Hattenhauer, but Carter Hess has a bat. And then after that, to be determined. Schmokel takes a strike. Ferguson, the soft lefty. Making his mark. And misses up and away. I mean, and Ferguson, too, entering this out in 6 2/3 innings pitched. Only 1 strikeout to 3 walks. But he pitches to contact. Schmokel stays alive and fouls it off the catcher. Catcher now still McGuarty. Schmokel committed to Western Oregon after a year at Everett. Looks like he's got all the Oregon State gear on, maybe borrowing it from Cam Beck. And Schmoke works a walk. Update on the defense. Showcut, Nidowitz in center field, moving from right. And Duncan stays in the game, now in right field. Stroop and McKay on the left side. Logan at second and Connor at first with McGordy catching. So a lot of defensive changes. Carter Hess in for Ty Hattenhauer. Carter Hess last year with the Bend Bucks and for a lot of his life at Summit High School from Lapine, Oregon. Has been a two-way guy, doing both hitting and pitching. This year with the Elks, primarily just a reliever though. He's looking for his first hit of the year with the Elks. Last year with the Bucks, there was a game where Hess struck out 10 on the mound and also hit a home run to left. The power is there. He swings through that 64-mile-per-hour pitch. Power on power. Schmokel with a healthy lead off of first. As Hess skies the 1-2 to shallow left. Coming in is Nidowitz, and he makes the catch. Thought that ball may have had eyes for a Hess hit. So they're letting all the relief pitchers get themselves an at-bat. And now it's Josh Jackson hitting for Hayden Smith. You know, casually, hitters 5, 6, and 7. Schmokel, Hess, and Jackson. Also Josh Jackson's first at-bat, as you can imagine. One of the Elks' better relievers. From Umpqua, fouls it away. That swing didn't look too bad. I'm telling you, these guys at one point or another have had themselves at-bats. They were consistent hitters at a point in time. And of course, if you're a pitcher and you get yourself an at-bat, you've got to have all the drip on. 0-1 from Ferguson gets the outside corner. So we got Oregon State on the elbow and then a navy blue school on the leg? I don't know. But Josh Jackson's representing them all. Trying to think of the guys on the Elks who would have a navy blue leg guard. Jackson takes outside. Looks like on deck is Jack Harper, Elks reliever with the bat. This is the first time this year where Alan Cox has let these pitchers hit. A pitcher's dream to be able to hit. Jackson takes. Look at this at bat from Josh. Full count, 1 out. Jackson with the hack, but strikes out swinging. And here comes Jack Harper to hit for Camden Hartlop. This is I'm going to say the third pitcher hitting for a position player, because Carter Hess is more than just a reliever hitting. Jack Harper, the younger brother of Elks pitching coach Wes. Jack takes low. Schmokel, Hess, Jackson, Harper. Hitters 5 through 8 this inning. And I'll tell you, Jack, his feet are getting happy in that box. Looks more uncomfortable than the rest of these hitters. but he takes a strike. Oh, Jack. That is unbelievable. That's one of the best moments of the year. Harper took a pitch that missed low, and he looked at the umpire and wanted to challenge it on the ABS. All time. 1 and 2. And that's one where Perry Schofield's not even going to get offended. He knows Jack is meaning no harm. Elks down to their final strike. Harper with a good take. 2-2 with 2 outs. Schmokel on first. See if Harper can run into one. Tapped. Foul. Well, if his ABS challenge worked, might be a 3-2 count right now. I'm not going to get over that. That is just hilarious. And I think the funniest part about it, as Harper fouls it away, is the pitch was low. He said, I want to challenge it. It was a ball low. Harper grounds out to end the game, but hey, decent contact. Elks drop it 17-1. A major win from the Portland Pickles. Their second most runs in a game this year. But let's take a look back to that strike called just below the knees. Harper didn't agree. He said, Perry, can we take a look at it? No ABS challenge in the West Coast League, of course. Jack Harper, one of the funniest moments of the year. Elks, though, back to reality. Tough loss tonight. And the Pickles will celebrate on the mound. We'll have the rubber match tomorrow. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. Aiden O'Neill, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday night. Some funny moments at the end for sure, one we won't forget with Jack, of course, but tough night for these Elks, and there's been too many of these games this season where the crooked number has multiplied, and that's resulted in these blowout wins. The 2 innings that put the Elks significantly behind were the 6th and the 7th. You had 4 runs in the 6th inning and then 6 runs in the 7th inning, 6 runs in that 7th on just 1 hit. Elks bullpen were not able to find the strike zone, and let's take one more look back at that 6th inning that changed this game ultimately. Had the ground ball fielded by Hartlob. He made a good play, throwing out the runner at first. Came in on it, the stretch by Brody Whitcomb to get him. Then ultimately, Masa Chilcutt was hit by a pitch. Cody Nidowitz then grounded out to the first baseman and Whitcomb on a great play. But after that moment with 2 away, that's where Goodman got in trouble. It started to spiral a bit more. A bloop into shallow center. Kai Malt kept his hot hitting going. One of the best hitters in the West Coast League, bringing in a run. Later, Elijah McNeil clubbed a 2 RBI double that blew that inning open and forced the Elks and their coaching staff to continue to get deeper and deeper into the bullpen, at one point having to call the Dogs completely off. Snap throw down to second there, moved him off the base. Stroop ultimately stole it, and then that was the duration of the 4 runs. In the 7th, there were 6 that came home. And those 10 runs in just 2 innings of work ended up being the biggest difference of the night. But it wasn't just the walks. You got to give credit where credit is due to the Portland Pickles. They hit tonight. They found barrels, 16 hits, 17 runs scored, and they take game 2 of this series. It means that tomorrow night a big game, not only for the Elks to potentially take the series against some of their rivals in the Portland Pickles, but Portland, with Springfield knocking on the door, potentially making the playoffs, it's go mode for them too. They have 2 tough series left after this in Walla Walla and Yakima. I'm sure that's going to be the message from Jim Hoppel and company is, yes, you value tonight and you're happy with how everything went. But tomorrow's game and a chance to take the series is arguably double as important when it comes to the overall outlook of this season. For one final time, I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off. 17 for the Pickles, 1 for the Elks, 16 hits on Portland's side, just 4 for Bend. That pitch in, Ryan Higgins, Jacob Bellamy, then Steven Ferguson shutting the door. All were great. Higgins deserves his flowers, was outstanding as a starter, didn't walk anybody, went 6 innings, and then 3 errors on the Pickles side. Still, they were able to work through it. Just 1 error for the Elks. Thanks to my great producer, Pierce Gordon. We will see you tomorrow night for the series finale. Take care.